Hey there, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video I'm doing a review of the Rhodia Goalbook. So this one is a good one for bullet journaling. It has dot grid pages, it already has like an index, future log, all that stuff set up for you. So if you're looking for an alternative to the, I'm going to say it wrong, Lectrum, you know what I'm talking about, an alternative to that notebook, then this one could be a good option. It's similar in terms of the size. I have the other one here for comparison. So they're about the same width, and they're also about the same, if I can pick them up, they're about the same thickness as well. The Rhodia has this really thin cover, which I'm not sure how well it's going to hold up after a year of use. And then this one, the Lectrum, you know what I mean, has a like harder cover, more sturdy. So let's have a closer look. I've done a review video of this one. I'll include the link below if you're interested in that one. But let's have a look at the Rhodia Goalbook. So in terms of the size, it's about the same as that bullet journal notebook, which is 5.25 by, I think it was about 8.25 high. So you get the index, the calendars, etc. Let me just rip this off and let's have a closer look. So same gripes, I guess, with the bullet journal, with how plain the cover is. I say it for every hardbound notebook that I look at. They're just so boring, the covers. It's like, come on, can we get a pretty pattern imprinted on the cover or something? At least this one has some color with the pop of blue, but they're just so boring and you can't really personalize them. Like I could probably put a monogram sticker on it, but yeah, like you can't, you know, create a DIY cover and add it to it like you can with a spiral planner. So I know, I'm getting into bullet journaling, but I'm just really having trouble getting past the ugly notebooks. So we've got the elastic band to keep everything closed. The cover feels really soft, kind of like leather. As you can see, it's super flexible and bendy. Really not liking this pop of orange. I hate orange, but I guess that's the color of Rhodia, however you pronounce it. Okay, so we've got the contents, or I guess your index page. You can put the page number and then what pages you've got there. The paper feels really smooth, like super smooth. Love it. Actually, yeah, I do really like this paper. So you get 6 pages, which is brilliant because most of them only include 2. I've looked at about 10 different notebooks now for bullet journaling because, you know, I can't just use one. Like I have to try all the different ones. I've got to do all the pen testing, etc. The paper for this one is the best, and this one has heaps of contents pages. Most of them have only included 2. That bullet journal one includes 4. Has the usual like stitching, but as you could see when I was flicking, it is laying flat without me having to hold it open, which is great. So we've got the months here. I like that they've got all the numbers plotted out for you, so you could do birthdays, projects. I tend to use this type of format for blog post planning. You could have a numbering system, so you could have like number 1, 2, 3, and number 1 could be, you know, you need to take your vitamins that day, or number 2, you need to do yoga or something like that with the coding system when the columns are quite narrow like this. You can write down the bottom what they are because they give you a little bit of extra room. We'll put some washi tape there for a pop of color because these notebooks can be kind of dull. Like I do like I have found myself gravitating more towards the minimalist style with just black and white planning pages, because then you can add color with pens and it doesn't clash with the colors of the planner, but sometimes they can be just a bit too boring. So definitely think about adding some washi tape to these bullet journal notebooks when I use them, or some stickers or something to liven them up a bit. So we've got the monthly calendar page, which you can use for your future log. It's already plotted out for you with the lines. If you're someone that does their future log this way, or you don't use, for example, one whole page for the month, then it's already set up for you, which is very convenient. And there is no lines or dots on these pages. However, on the rest of the pages in the notebook, you do get that dot grid. So in terms of the size of the dots, they are about a bit less than 0.25. They probably are 0.25. Yeah, I call it 0.25, which is the same as the bullet journal notebook. I mean, it's the same width, as you can see. So basically it's a replica. You would choose the Rhodia if you want a pop of color on your cover, and if you want these pages already built into it, because the bullet journal doesn't have this one, and it also doesn't have the future log already ruled up. It just has a page that says future log, and that one's also dot grid, whereas this future log is unlined. So yep, the pages dot grid feels really smooth. Love the paper. Love it. And then if we keep going to the back, I did a pen test. So super important, first thing I do whenever I get a new notebook is to do the pen test. Reason being is because I don't want to be using pens that have lots of ghosting and bleed through, which is really irritating when you go to use it. So I did some Tombow pen testing as well. I did this for all of the like 10 bullet journal notebooks that I brought. I'll include the link in the description box below to the testing that I did, so you can see which one worked out best, which will also give you an idea of the paper quality. So all of them seem to have thin paper that shows through. This one, at least it's super smooth and feels nice, but it does still have that ghosting on the back side of the page. Same deal. I can understand it for the brush pens because they're like that and really pop of color, but it's the same deal for the ballpoint, the fine tip, the gel, the highlighters, the marker pens, and the stamps that I tested. They all have that same ghosting and showing through on the other side of the page. So I think I'm going to be one of those people that skips the back side of the page. That was my cheapy highlighter, really bad bleed through there. One of those people that skips the back side of the page, so I would be like writing on this side and then skip that, leave it blank, and then write on this side. Or I might get like a sticky note. I really like those post-it note 3M lined sticky notes, and I might stick that in here as like to put my shopping list, so it doesn't block, like cover up the planning pages as I sometimes do with the weekly spread in normal planners. I usually just stick it over the top and then I have to keep shifting it. At least I could put it there and I guess still get some use out of the page and not let it go to waste. You could also stick a printable there. You could just leave it for like pre-planning your week or general brain dumping, scratch paper, sketching out some ideas for next week's layout, all that kind of thing. So I guess you don't have to completely waste it if you leave it blank. There's still other uses for it. This one has a built-in pocket folder as well, very roomy. So most of these hardbound notebooks that are designed for bullet journaling do have the pocket folder and also have that elastic band as well. So I do quite like this notebook. It's functional, it's practical for bullet journaling. It does have the page numbers, I forgot to point that out. It does have page numbers pre-printed as well. So if you want something that's a little bit more pretty with the blue than the bullet journal, then I would recommend the Goalbook. I'll have links to the pen testing for the Tombow that I did in all those planners, the reviews of the other bullet journal planners as they are posted, there's quite a few of them, and then also those pen testing photos will be linked in the blog post, which will be in the description box below. And don't forget to subscribe, the button is also below if you want to be notified when new planner reviews are posted. I usually do 1 or 2 each week here on my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.